this reading is going to be particularly to see what are the messages for each and every single one of you. Take the messages for what they are, whether they resonate, take what resonates, I should say, and what doesn't, perhaps it's a message for someone else. Keep in mind, these are general readings. I do channel when doing these readings. So again, it may not resonate with you now, but a week or a couple of days after you've heard this reading, you will connect with it on a deeper level. So I'm going to be doing freehand readings, and what that means is I have not, we've already shuffled the deck, but I have not pulled out any cards whatsoever. I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to connect with one of these stones here. We have the Pyrite, we have the Heartstone, and we have the crystal quartz. Not the crystal, sorry, the rose quartz. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes. Go ahead and tune into whichever one resonates, whichever one is pulling towards you. And whatever those are, we will go from there, okay? So go ahead and take your time. Really try to tune in. Okay, so like I mentioned, the Pyrite is going to be set number 1. The Heartstone is going to be a set number 2, and the Rose Quartz is going to be set number 3. So I'm going to pull these back, and we're going to start with set number 1, which is the Pyrite. So this is going to be the messages that you need to hear, in the now, so that they may help you. So that they may give you clarity, insight. Spirit guides, what are the messages for 7? Chooses, what are the messages that you're trying to connect? Allow me to open up as a vessel of communication. Let it be you who speaks through me. Okay, so like I had mentioned, I had already shuffled the cards, but I will be shuffling them again, just so you guys can see here. All right, let's get into set number 1. Okay, your first card is the 7 of Pentacles. The second card is the Page of Wands. The third card is the World card. The Queen of Swords. The Knight of Cups. The Death card. The Page of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles, the 3 of Wands, and the 7 of Swords. All right. Okay, my lovelies. Okay. So for those of you guys that chose set number 1, which is with the Pyrite, we have the 7 of Pentacles, and this is talking to me about the past or a situation that comes or stems from the past. Now, right at the center, you have the Death card. So there is major transformation that's happening with a lot of you that chose this set. For some of you guys, you're starting to find stability. Perhaps this is something that you've been struggling in the past. Perhaps this is something that almost seemed unattainable at some point in your life. The World card is a signifier of that, which I'm sure you guys have heard. The world is yours, or the world is in your hand. And this is the energy that's coming through. So for a lot of you guys that have been struggling, have been having difficulties in regards to finances or in regards to relationships, continue holding on to faith, as you will quickly start to see things progress in a very positive way. Now, if you can see here, out of all these cards and the characters in these cards, they are all facing towards the right, signifying looking towards the future or walking towards the future. Only with the 7 of Pentacles that looks towards the past. So for some of you guys, in regards to relationships, you guys have been dealing with a situation or with a partner or a circumstance that keeps coming up in your life. And this is something that you have to really pay attention to, because this is speaking to you about self-conditioning, that's happened to you at very early childhood. Perhaps you find that perhaps you've been connecting with people that almost imitate some type of energy that your father or mother had when you were growing up. Perhaps instability, perhaps coming and going without committing, without having any type of commitment. For those of you guys that are not connecting in regards to relationships, this is specifically directed towards your finances. So with the World card, again, like I said, the world is starting to open up to you. You have the Death card, transmutation, transformation, new beginnings. But you need to stop looking towards the past. If in the past, and we're talking about prior years, perhaps 7 years or more, you found some type of stability that was temporary, you keep looking towards the past as if that was the best that you've ever experienced, or the best that ever happened to you, or the best in having to do with your present in the now. And what Spirit is telling you is you need to let go of that feeling. If you continuously keep putting yourself or your mind in a state of mind of feeling like the best has passed you by, or the best was in the past, you will quickly start to realize that synchronizations that put you in situations where you feel like you continuously keep being blocked, or you continuously keep having difficulties. This is all, again, like I said, synchronization. And it's the universe giving you exactly where you're putting the most energy. So you need to let go of the feeling like you will not achieve. You need to let go of the feeling like things are not progressing, because perhaps in the now, yes, you've been having difficulties. Perhaps you've struggled. Perhaps whatever your situation is, what Spirit is telling you, things are moving quickly. And this may be in where you're not being able to see. So when I say this, it's almost as if a lot of the times when we want something to happen, and we want it so bad, and we cannot detach ourselves from the situation because it is directly affecting us, we feel like things are not progressing. And Spirit is telling you, though you may not see progression, things around you are quickly moving. Situations around you are starting to open up for you. Blockages are being removed so that you may then flow freely with the energy, walking towards stability. As you guys can see here, you have the World, the Death, and the King of Pentacles. These three cards are in alignment, and they're right at the center of your reading, signifying you have came to the conclusion or to the ending of a struggle, and there is transformation that is happening, finding your stability here with the King of Pentacles. Now, for those of you guys that are currently dealing with a situation that has to do with the past, with partners, with lovers, in relationships, what they're telling you is look towards the past. You will quickly start to understand that perhaps there is this type of energy that attracts you. And though it may be very exciting and thrilling for you, it's not giving you the ultimate stability that you're looking for, which is something stable, something could be marriage. For others of you, if you guys are in a relationship, it could just signify that perhaps there hasn't been any closeness between you and your partner. And it's almost like the more you try, you feel that it's quickly slipping from your hands. And what Spirit is telling you is you need to have faith. You need to understand that things happen to us in very particular ways. And there is necessity behind what's happening. There is change in the horizon. Now, for those of you guys that have been dealing with a partner, with a woman or a male, for some of you guys, you may be dealing with an earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. If you're not dealing, this actually could be representing you, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. I also see air signs here, so we could be dealing with Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Scorpio is present, as well as water energy. So what they're saying here is, again, for those of you guys that have been dealing perhaps with a person that comes very quickly, but also leaves very quickly, almost without hesitation. They don't give you any inkling that the relationship is going bad, and then all of a sudden they are missing. Spirit is telling you, you know the answer. You know why this is happening. We have the Seven of Swords here at the bottom, and this is signifying sneakiness behavior, but it also speaks about a person that has not been completely honest with you. The World card in regards to relationships usually indicates a person that is either separated, recently, or it could also speak about a person that is forbidden for you. So this could be a person that is actually married. So again, what the cards are telling you is you need to take on the energy of the Queen of Swords. You need to use your head instead of following your heart at this present time. You need to step away from the situation and analyze it, not in an emotional state of mind, but in a more practical way, in a more discerning way. And whatever it is that you decide, as an example for those of you guys that have been dealing with people that come in and out of your lives, you cannot sit there and blame the people that are not constant, because the one that takes up that responsibility alone is yourself, because you continuously keep allowing them to do so. So the moment you cut the cords with this knife, the moment you start thinking with your head instead of your heart, and almost be, I guess you can say, a little bit cold in the sense of they feel at this point that you are very easy to read. Perhaps you've shown them in the past that just like they leave, they could quickly come back. And what the cards are telling you here is that you need to take the very sturdy, put your foot down, be strong and cold. It's almost like a depiction of what I'm getting. And this is going to seem very, very, you know, tortured in a way. But it's almost like when a person is, you know, when you see in the movies that a person is between life and death and they're struggling to breathe and to talk. And it's almost like you're standing, they're leaning, or they're not leaning, they're on the ground and you're standing, looking down on them. And instead of continuously seeing them struggle, it's time for you to stick the knife in and pretty much call it a day. So I guess what they're trying to tell me is that you need to learn to be cold sometimes. You cannot run off of emotions, because if you continuously keep doing that, you will continuously be putting yourself in a situation where you're putting all the effort and the energy. And in doing so, people are still deciding to leave. People are deciding to be temporary. So you need to love yourself enough to know your self-worth and to not allow them to do so, even if it means giving them an ultimatum or having them to make a choice, and be prepared, whatever that choice may be, because only then will you take your power back. Only then will you be able to see, yes, an ending. But as you guys can see here, there is an ending, but there is also the sun back here. The sun is rising. So again, do not resist these changes, you guys, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Now let's go to set number 2, which is the Heartstone. Here are the messages for set number 2. Those that chose the Heartstone, what are the messages that you're wanting to communicate? What are the messages that you need at this present time? Let it be you who speaks through me. Allow me to open up as a vessel of communication to be able to try and communicate the messages that are coming through. What are the messages for group number 2? Those that chose the Heartstone. What are the messages? What are the messages for group number 2? Okay, we're going to shuffle one more. All right, so those of you guys that chose set number 2 with the Heartstone, we have the Queen of Wands. Move these a little bit better. Okay, we have the Queen of Wands, the King of Cups, the Ace of Swords, the Magician, the 9 of Pentacles, the 8 of Cups, Temperance, the 8 of Wands, the Devil card, and the 10 of Wands. Okay. So off the bat, from what I can see here in the very near future position, we have the Magician, the Temperance, the Devil, and the 10 of Wands. Now, for some of you guys, I feel that this is a message in regards to relationships. I'm going to be straightforward and to the point. Now, with the Magician and the Temperance, for those of you guys that have been thinking or perhaps have even done some type of spell work, and you're feeling like it's not really taking on or it's not giving you the results you're wanting, what Spirit is telling you is that in the present time, time is very connected to destiny. Meaning, you have to be patient with what was done. You cannot continuously keep putting pressure or keep forcing a situation, because the outcome will be the same. And that outcome will be, you will come to know the outcome in due time. So the cards are not wanting to give you an answer in regards to, will this relationship better, or will this relationship come back together, I should say, or is this relationship going to end? They're not giving you a yes. They're not giving you a no. Although they are very positive cards, but it speaks directly towards your person in the present time. So again, this is only for those that have chosen to do some type of spell work or get some type of work done. What they're telling you is that in regards to spell work, in regards to witchcraft, you need to understand that patience is very connected to faith. People that try to rush something or try to make things happen in a very quick manner, just like, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like when you find a relationship that is very passionate and very intense, it starts out very quickly. It is usually going to burn out very quickly as well. So what the cards are telling you is, yes, the spell work has taken, but you need to be patient. And instead of trying to obsess over what you did or waiting for the materialization, this is a time for you to be using this time to work on yourself. It doesn't necessarily mean that the person that you're with is not prepared, although this may be the interpretation that you have or that you feel. You may feel like this person is not ready or they're indecisive. But a lot of the things that are basically speaking here have a lot to do directly towards your person. So there's a lot of healing that needs to happen. There is a lot of toxic energy that you bring into the relationship. Now, for some of you guys, you may be a fire energy, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. For others of you, you may be a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. For others, directly in Aries or an earth sign as well, as I do see earth sign here. I also see Capricorn, and I also see Sagittarian energy here. So what they're saying is basically, the Queen of Wands is a person that usually with the Magician, and they're both right at the corners, usually signifies a person that dabbles into witchcraft or that dabbles into spell work. Now, the King of Cups could take on the shadow side of that, of a water energy. So this could be a person that likes to drink, perhaps a person that likes to gamble, or a person that likes to do, any type of drugs, not very heavily, but it could be a person that likes to be under the influence, basically. But what they're telling you in this situation with the Ace of Swords is that you need to be honest with yourself. You need to look at yourself in the mirror. Yes, perhaps this person in the past has not done the best, but neither have you. And you cannot go about trying to change a person through witchcraft when you yourself are deciding not to change. There's things from the past that you're still carrying on to your past or to your recent relationships, and even the relationships that perhaps may unfold down the line. And you will continuously keep going through these obstacles until you're willing to look at yourself in the mirror, until you're willing to work on yourself instead of worrying about working on other people or your partners. Now, you do have the Nine of Pentacles here, and the Nine of Pentacles is always, to me, a signifier of single head card. But it's almost like you're refusing or you're not wanting to be single. Now, this could be vice versa because it is a general reading. But the Nine of Pentacles, again, with the Eight of Cups and the Temperance, this is talking to me. It's almost like Spirit is telling you, hey, you're wanting this person to change. You're willing to do anything, basically, to get those results, of have them having them come back to you or to try to work the relationship. But that connection is already there, meaning they do have feelings for you, meaning they do care for you, and there is love there. But how can you sit there and try to change a person when you yourself are refusing to change? So what they're telling you is basically, to me, as an example, if I was to pull these cards, it's basically the tarot telling, like slapping me in the face, telling me, hey, you need to be realistic. You cannot go about your life blaming that relationships don't work out because of other people or the people that you've chosen. A lot of the times it has a lot to do with yourself. So you need to take self-responsibility is what they're saying. With the Eight of Cups, I do see progress and movement. With the Temperance, manifestation, and the Magician. You will get the outcome that you're wanting. But again, it's going to come at a price. And that price is how quickly your results will be, have a lot to do with how quickly you're willing to put effort towards working on yourself. Now, you do have the Eight of Wands here with the Devil card. So the Eight of Wands is very quick communication, but it also speaks about love returning. With the Devil card, again, I think this is very highly speaking about spell work or witchcraft. For some of you guys, it could be that, in fact, you have been on a journey of spiritual awakening, connecting, or perhaps practicing or learning things of the craft. And what the cards are telling you is that you do have the potential here with the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is usually depicted or is known, is known as a queen. And it could be a male as well, you guys. It's a general reading. But if you guys can see the cat right here at the bottom, this queen is very known for witchery, for witchcraft. The red is that of passion and that of the spiritual realm, fire energy. So again, if it is you, the one that's been having or dealing with learning to practice or practicing, what the cards are telling you is you need to be careful. Yes, you are on the right path towards enlightenment with the Ace of Swords and the power to be able to manifest the life that you want. But when it comes to people, when it comes to relationships particularly, you need to be careful not to dabble in spell work with any type of relationship. So when they're telling me love relationships is one thing, but when they're saying any relationship, it usually signifies a person that could be very impulsive, a person that if you get to know someone, you very quickly feel like you're falling for them. And then the moment that they start showing a little bit of restraint, or they, something changes in that connection, it's kind of like you go into panic mode and you obsess over them to the point of pretty much being impulsive when you're doing spell work. So what they're telling you is be careful, because everything that you do, and I feel that for some of you guys have done this to multiple people, not just one in particular. So you have to be careful with this, because you do have the Ten of Wands here, and the Ten of Wands signifies to me a lot of bad karmic energy. Karmic could represent not necessarily, so here's the thing, okay? And this is something that I need to point out, because a lot of people watch my videos and they sometimes ask me or question certain things. And when it comes to spell work, when it comes to magic in particular, whether you believe in karma or whether you don't is irrelevant. Now, fear is what's very important here, because whatever it is that you fear the most is what you will start to experience. So as an example, if you've done spell work to multiple people and all of a sudden you start having very bad experiences or blockages or just bad luck, your fear starts to come up, and it's almost as a reminder, like, oh, it's my karmic debt, what I've done in the past. And what they're telling you is you're going to reap whatever it is that it's almost like we ourselves are our own judge, okay? And whatever feels right or feels wrong to you and you still do it, that's what we call the conscious, is that how you say it? Conciencia. So basically what they're saying is, if you've done this to multiple people and you still have trouble finding stability, finding a person that's going to stick, basically, because I feel that a lot of this energy has to do with the fear of losing people, the fear of seeing people walk away. So that's the reason why you resort to this. And with the 10 of Wands, it's, you know, speaking, yes, you will get results, or yes, you have in the past got temporary results. But with the 10 of Wands, this is a very heavy burden. This also speaks directly towards be very careful, because you do have the Devil card here, and this could also signify attracting very negative type of energies. So my suggestion for you guys that chose set number 2 is to make sure to always cleanse yourselves. If you don't know how to do that, then I would highly encourage you guys to watch some of my YouTube videos in regards to cleansings, in regards to cutting of cords and that type of scenario, because I do feel that for the most part, those of you guys that chose set number 2 do definitely need some type of cleansing in order to remove that toxic type of energy or that toxic behavior that you yourself carry. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let's go on to set number 3. What are the messages for those that chose set number 3? Set number 3, the rose quartz. What are the messages that the rose quartz wants to speak to them? What are the messages? Okay, let's see what are the messages for those that chose set number 3 with the rose quartz? All right, those of you that chose set number 3, let's see what Spirit has for you guys. I'm switching it up a little bit. I must do what I'm told, so... All right, let's begin. So your first card is the 7 of Pentacles, the 8 of Cups, the Judgment card, the Emperor, the 8 of Cups, the 4 of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the 8 of Wands, wow, the Magician card, and the World card. Wow, okay. So you guys are totally the opposite of set number 2. All right, you guys, for those of you guys that chose set number 3, you have the 7 of Pentacles here, and this is talking about past connection, or perhaps there was a recent, some type of temporary separation, or some type of struggle within the relationship itself. For those of you guys that are married and have been married for quite a while, it almost felt like perhaps you guys were not on the same page, and there was a lot of difficulties, perhaps even conversations about separation, or the thought of separation. And for those of you guys that have been in a long-term relationship but not marriage, this is definitely speaking towards, again, like I said, almost feeling like you guys are very disconnected. Now, I do see both of you guys trying to put effort in this relationship. Try the best you can not to be very judgmental. I feel that both of you guys, there's a lot of need for healing here, healing from past hurts. Now, I do want to mention, you do have the Judgment card here next to the Emperor. So the decision will be of putting effort towards the relationship and working towards it to stabilize it. So you will see the materialization of this. With the 4 of Wands usually signifies stability or finding common stability. You have the Page of Cups here, and the Page of Cups is genuine love, genuine reciprocation of love, and the passion being ignited again here with the Emperor and the Knight of Wands. Now, you do have the Magician card here next to the World card and the 8 of Wands. So this is talking to me about very quick movement. For some of you guys, you may be thinking of traveling. For others, you may be thinking of moving residency, moving towards a different city or even country. And I do see that coming for you guys, as the World card is definitely a travel card next to the 8 of Wands. very quick movement, and that of going to new places, perhaps, like I said, a different country. But it could be as ordinary as going towards or moving towards a new city. Now, right at the center with the Four of Wands, I feel that for a lot of you guys have been on this path of feeling, wanting to move on from something. Not necessarily to do with relationships. We're talking about every other plane in your life. This could be a professionalized. This could also signify just your everyday life. You kind of feel like it's ordinary is what you're feeling. And I feel that there is going to be this burst of energy for you guys going into June all the way to August, where you will start to experience the desire, the passion to want to travel, to want to road trip, perhaps even trying new foods, being around different cultures. I think that for this year, 2019, for most of you guys that chose set number 3, there's going to be a lot of expansion in the sense of cultural, is what they're telling me. So again, it could be trying different foods. I mean, it could be as simplistic as just trying a different restaurant. For those of you guys that are stuck in the mud and kind of do the same thing every day, it could just be trying a different restaurant or being more open towards going to different or new restaurants that open up. Now, it could be as grand as that traveling, going to different countries, expansion, learning new languages. This is all about learning and expansion, as I do have the Eight of Wands here with the Magician and the World card. So there is a lot of travel around you. I feel that for a lot of you guys, there is just this need for adventure is what they're telling me. So be practical in your approach to this. Don't be impulsive. And the reason I say this is because the Knight could be very, very impulsive, especially the Knight of Wands. And you could kind of throw, it's almost like you're letting your hair loose. You've been very structured to some degree. And there's a need of spontaneity in your life. And this is definitely positive. But try the best you can to also be practical. Make sure not to, overspend or go overdoing. It's balance. It's all about balance. Yes, the way you work and you put hard effort and determination towards your goals, the same way we need to recharge our batteries, even if it means going to a different city, going to a different country, traveling, experiencing different cultures. This is something that definitely feeds the soul. So I would highly encourage you guys to do that. But as well, be practical in the sense of, should you stray further from home or should you stray for very long from home, you will definitely get homesick and you will definitely be returning rather quickly versus just taking short trips, coming back, working, getting in that, in that routine. And then once you're kind of drained again, take a weekend, go on a road trip, that type of energy. So basically be smart about your travels. Now, for those of you guys that have been dealing with work in regards to your profession, if you felt at some point like people just keep throwing obstacles in your way, you do have the Judgment card here next to the Emperor. So there's going to be a choice that's going to be made in the month of June, where it's going to put you at a very, very good position next to either your boss or your supervisor, someone that is higher ranking than you. For those of you guys that run your own business, this could actually represent a client that's that comes to you or that signs up to your business for a long period of time that is going to bring a lot of stability for you guys. So definitely a lot of progress here. I do see that there's been a bit of stuckness, a bit of blockages here in the past, but moving forward towards the near future, going towards the weeks that are to come, I do see expansion, I do see growth, and I do see abundance for you guys. Not only abundance, but financially being secured or being financially stable. So this is definitely a good thing for you guys, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Like, share, and comment. If you guys like these kinds of readings, definitely make sure to like and share and subscribe to my channel, and I'll continue to keep uploading the freehand ones. Usually we try to go with the ones that are already prepared. Of course, I don't read before I actually flip the cards, but I do pre-shuffle and cut them before recording for time purposes. But if you guys prefer these, definitely let me know, and we will be giving you guys more of that. All right, you guys have many blessings. I hope these readings help you guys towards your new endeavors, towards your new month. Many blessings to all of you guys, and we'll see each other soon. Okay? Bye.